Hey, welcome back, you guys. Now, today we are making some simple jar openers. All it is basic two pieces of fabric and some shelf liner cut into some squares. These are nice to have in your kitchen. I put a magnet in mine, and I also put a loop on it. So if you don't want to use the magnet, or you can't use a magnet wherever you put it, you have a way of hanging it up. Even using like a command hook or something, it would work. This is a really fast, easy thing, and I wanted to show you kind of what I meant. That shelf liner will just grip and you can open it. I didn't want to open it yet though, because it's a brand new jar of sauce that we didn't need open yet. So I've made a couple of them. I kind of struggled with my other sewing machine without my walking foot. So now, here we go. I cut them at 6.5 inches each. All three pieces, both fabric and the one shelf liner. And I'm going to show you how to sandwich them. We are going to make, there's my ribbon. Nothing too fancy, just whatever piece of ribbon you could find in your house. So when you're making your first jar opener sandwich, you put your first piece down, right side up, and then you put your liner on there. The liner, of course, don't matter either way. And then you put your other piece of fabric right side down. And then you clip it. Oh yeah, double make sure. That's why I'm showing right there. Make sure you double check, because when you get it all sewn and if it's backwards, it's not going to make you happy. Alright, so you pin or clip it so it doesn't wiggle on you. It takes me a few minutes on this. Sorry, my hands just were not working very well at this time. So bear with me. Alright, so now it's all clipped, so you sew it all the way around, 1/4 inch, but you leave about 3 inches opening. Make sure you don't forget to leave the 3 inches opening, you won't be able to turn it around. So now you get to watch me sew it. And yes, definitely have a walking foot if you can possibly. My other sewing machine didn't have a walking foot on it, and it did not go through it very well, and it was kind of a bummer because I really like my other sewing machine better. I mean, this one's a good machine. This is Starlet, Singer Starlet. Just my other Singer sewing machine is electronic, and it just runs smoother for me. But it might be just left for more of the quilting, basic quilting and sewing. This one might end up just being, because it seems to be more of a brute. It goes through materials so much better. Yes, and also back stitch. Make sure you back stitched, and then when you go all the way around, back stitch and leave that about 3-inch opening. Okay, here we go. We gotta back stitch it and we are done. All right, well, for that part at least. Unclip it, and now it is time to trim the corners. I forgot to grab my little garbage can. My little garbage can is a hot cocoa mix empty container. So trim the corners. So when you turn it inside the right side out, your corners aren't going to be so bulky, and it's easier for your sewing machine to do top stitches also. So not only for looks, but also for your machine. You know, you don't want to make it struggle any more than it has to. So now we get to turn it right side out. I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing? Oh, I was grabbing, I can't find what I normally use to poke out my corners. So I'm using a twist up, what was it called? Coloring pencil. Just make sure the lead's not out. It won't poke through or color on it. Here, I didn't do very good. I didn't give myself the 3-inch opening like I should have. So it's a little harder, and it don't help that my hands were not working very well. So you get to watch me struggle, almost drop it. It would make me mad, but I trudged through it. Okay, so this definitely would not have taken as long if I left myself a bigger hole to turn it right side out. So now poke out your corners as good as you can without poking through your fabric. You don't want to poke through it. So I'm squiggling in. So next time I will make sure, like my other ones weren't that hard to turn out. So of course the one I do my video on has to have too small of a hole, and I struggle. And my hands are feeling tired and fatigued, so it didn't help it much either. So just poke these corners out as good as you can and foof it and pull it out and admire your work for a moment. And then you turn your I'll adjust my light. You turn your opening pieces in to make for your seam allowance. And oh yes, drop your magnet in also. Make sure it's in between both your pieces of fabric. You don't want to have to see your magnet in between your fabric and your liner. So there we go. Okay, now tuck your ends in and put your ribbon in. Put the two ends of the ribbon in to make your loop. And then you're gonna want to pin it or clip it in there to make sure it stays in there. So when you run your top stitch all the way around, it keeps the ribbon in place. There we go. So now I run it and I do the top stitch with the liner up, facing up. And then you stitch all the way around. I think I did, but like I try to do like 1/8 of an inch, but I am not perfect at my stitching. So, but I would say less than 1/4 inch because it's a top stitch. So the most it's really truly going to do is hold your ribbon in and close the turning spot, but you don't want just a stitch there, so you just do it all the way around, and it kind of helps keep everything from becoming weird like when you wash it or something. So yeah, make sure you move your magnet so you don't hit it with your foot or your needle. That would be really, really bad. So be conscious of where your magnet is when you're stitching. So stitch all the way around. Alright, now you're all done. You clean up your ends, admire your work again, and check it out. My magnet is in there. It's sticking to my nippers. There's the little hangy deal for your ribbon, and another, hey, check it out. This is how it works. Test run. I didn't want to open it, like I said, and not ready to eat that yet. So there we go, you guys. There's the one we just stitched, and this is the one I did before with my peppers. These are going to be gifts I'm sending out in a few days. So thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing, and please like this video if you enjoyed it. There's hopefully will be a lot more sewing tutorials and others coming along. Any questions or comments, please leave them below. Keep on crafting. Bye.